Doug was kind enough to just talk about on a commercial setting how you all are disruptive. I want to talk about drug development. There is lots of data that suggests that once a drug makes it into human testing, phase 1, 2, and 3, that they have less than a 9% chance of becoming a commercial product. Partially, the benefit for a pharma company to partner with a company like yours is to find the right patient at the right time and to help improve the chances of a commercial drug coming to market. How does a pharma party benefit on the development side, partnering with PGDx?
So your facts, I agree with 100%. And I think that the difference in working with PGDx and a companion diagnostic is significant. This data is a little bit dated, but I do know a few years ago, a publication that I read stated that you are 600 times more likely to get your oncology personalized medicine through the FDA with a companion diagnostic than without. So it has a very significant impact in a favorable manner. Now, one of the things that we have that is pretty unique here is we have the ability to do the research work with the pharmas. So when they're in their research phase, late stage research, and looking to understand the genetics of that patient and or of the population that they're interested in, we have the capabilities through our lab here in Baltimore to do whole exome testing and to do other research work with them to help them identify those hypotheses much, much earlier. So they actually are working with us prior to going into humans, and then immediately they will go into humans with a biomarker hypothesis right from the beginning. That is transformative relative to a reduction in speed and cost for them, because then they can quickly assess in their target population, is this safe and is this effective?
So that's a very important point, Doug, that I think you referenced, which is the novelty of creating new products. And when you talk about a biomarker, you sometimes can be looking at protein expression, or you can be looking at, in a microscopic level, how the body reacts to this drug being in its system. And so that is of huge benefit, I think, to a pharma party that is looking to churn out new products, something novel, and it could be highly beneficial for both parties, both the pharma company succeeding in development, but also revenues on the other side. So I know at Roche, you guys were at the forefront of doing that, and now it seems to be an advancement now with a new technology that you guys can bring forward.
Absolutely, right? Cancer biology is complex.
Correct.
So you do need to look at all of those genetic biomarkers, whether they're protein, RNA, or DNA, in order to really be able to understand that complexity. This technology, as I said earlier, is able to interrogate that DNA, genetic mutation analysis, in a very, very broad manner, meaning thousands, right, tens of thousands of genes, all the way to very exquisite, small tests for pharma in liquid biopsy, looking at, say, 50 genes. And we can customize that approach with pharma to create actually unique products, both from them from a therapeutic and us from a diagnostic, so that when we go to market, we're actually in sync in bringing a co-labeled product to market together.
That's fantastic. Now I want to shift the conversation slightly and talk about how Ventana was an Arizona-based company. Roche is a European-based company. Here you are in Baltimore City, in Canton, of all places. To date, and I'm not even talking about the healthcare side, but on the IT side, advertising.com, in my belief, was the best exit that has ever experienced in this Baltimore area. What was it about Baltimore City? Was it the founders, but also the opportunity that thought you could grow a business here in this space?
I would say that certainly for anyone in cancer research and in what I would call next generation sequencing technology, the center of the world is Baltimore, Maryland, out of Johns Hopkins University.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Exactly. The amount of research and discovery and patents that come out of this area, I would say, it created this entire field. And because of that, certainly I think because the founders were here, because Hopkins is here, but also because of the know-how of people from Hopkins. So we've hired a number of people, right? PhD, both graduates at the time during doing research, but then afterwards, more graduates out of Hopkins. They're some of the best trained people in the world. So having them being able to come here to PGDx is just a natural fit for us, quite frankly. So those reasons are partly why we're here. Now we're here as well because, quite frankly, it's an exciting environment, and we're actually quite enthusiastic about trying to create an entrepreneurial and life sciences center of excellence here in Baltimore, right? It would be terrific if, the next Cambridge or San Diego is Baltimore. And if PGDx can be a part of helping to create that persona and ecosystem, that would be terrific, I think.
I've heard through the grapevine that PGDx over the past 2 years has hired over 200 new employees into this region. I'm curious, I want to know what was the way to attract these employees to this area, but also what are the challenges that you face to getting them to want to work for your company?
So we're very proud of the fact that we've been able to hire that many excellent, skilled individuals to come here to PGDx and to Baltimore. Certainly a number of them have an affinity to Baltimore already, whether they're Hopkins or Maryland graduates or they've worked for other companies in their past and so forth. So there are those people with that affinity. The vast majority do not have that affinity. And the reason that we've been able to do it is because I think of the mission, the vision, and the opportunity to build something from the ground up. We're hiring a lot of people with a tremendous amount of experience from other companies, both large and startup oriented, who thrive in that environment of a startup, of a company trying to make something that's never been done before. I'd say that's the biggest motivational item. And then, you try to hire people with great leadership that have a great network that also people want to follow, right? So I've been lucky that a number of people have followed me from previous employers and companies that I've worked for. Likewise, right, it's a trickle-down effect from others coming on board here. So that's been an incentive to bring people.